I've got a question for you today. So if you've ever played Left 4 Dead 1 or 2 and versus, or games similar to that, we're doing that now in the Anacrusis, and we're getting ready to start opening up the beta tester to players over the next week or two. And the question about scoring. So actually at Valve, Left 4 Dead scoring is actually a kind of a interview question we ask of how would you do it, because it has a lot of downwind effects, right? It creates a lot of behavior. Right now, the behavior is that you should rush the map as fast as you can, and that takes away some of the fun. You want people to move slower, more methodical, but the longer you stay in the map, the more dangerous the map is. So that means you want to go through it as fast as you can, and there's really no reward for staying in those maps because there's nothing you can get. We don't really have an effect score. In Left 4 Dead 1, we had your health effect score as well, but that has some dependencies as well, and then you don't want to bring people back because there's a penalty there. With Anacrusis, you can bring back people a lot easier, which could be frustrating for the one side, but maybe it feels better for the other side because you're not sitting out. Because there's nothing worse than, like in a versus game, you get knocked down as a survivor and you're out for a minute just waiting, or a couple minutes. You have to just watch everybody else play, right? So there's a balance there. So do you have any ideas? Do you have any thoughts on this? Have you played other games that do this kind of thing well? For us, one of the important things is that you are going through the missions kind of like normal. We can add things to it, but it's going through the missions. Because I've seen other games, like Back 4 Blood chose to make it more of a sport, where you're in an arena and not the regular maps. When you do that, for me, it becomes a sport and it's not as fun. I liked in Left 4 Dead that we kept it as you're essentially a jerk. You were griefing the other team when you were killing them, and that feels good to be a jerk sometimes. It's kind of sanctioned griefing. So if you have ideas about that scoring, let me know. One of the interesting ideas in our Discord was discord.gg/StrayBombay. Somebody suggested, what if there were points there that you could kind of unlock and have to defend for a period that would give you a bunch of points. And that way, if you were really far down in the third map, you could come back by unlocking all those points because you could play heroically, right? That's always the thing also, is you want to be able to have comebacks happen because people quit when they realize that they can't win and they're not having fun playing. So that's something else to consider with the scoring. I kind of like that idea. I think that's interesting. But don't want to make it like basketball where everybody just kind of pisses around for the first 3 quarters and then tries at the end. I don't find that satisfying either. So again, just a bunch of different ways that we're thinking about scoring and just thinking if there's anything out there. Because you should always be open to that you could have been wrong, or things could be changed, or things could be improved. And that's what this is. And maybe it is, we're going to just do the same thing. We're going to start that way. We're going to start with just you get a score for your progression, but we'll see. Maybe someone will come up with a good idea. Do you have a good idea? Can I steal your